What's up, YouTube? This is your big bro, King Jabez, back to say another very important message. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video, leave a comment, let me know what you think about my content. In addition to that, please feel free to follow me over on Instagram at King Jabez. And for those who want to talk to me one-on-one, I do offer consultations. Whatever you decide to do, it will be greatly appreciated. Let's do some work. Chosen men and women, high-ranking witches and warlocks have been given instructions to keep a close eye on you. This is an assessment I made. I've read several books over the last year or so. I got about a stack of 6 books here right now. This won't be a book review, but this is an intelligent assessment based on my many years of studying theology, biblical theology, as well as the last year or two of reading several books, all types of different subjects on the area of spirituality and how people have used witchcraft, sorcery, magic, and enchantments, necromancy, which is communication with, for the sake of YouTube, unalive. And I'm going to use a lot of my experience today to teach this, and I can say with confidence from a lot of research that there has always been people, men and women, who have kept a close eye on the chosen ones. All the way back to the days of Moses, the children of Israel in Egypt. And there was a lot of magic there and spells and sorcery. And we underestimate how a lot of those practices kept the chosen ones in bondage for a long time. All the way back to the Book of Enoch. Fallen angels, giants, demons were teaching people how to practice sorcery, magic, and witchcraft, a long time ago. So this is nothing new. So I'm going to read today directly from the Book of Enoch. Let's check this out. And it says, "And all the others together with them took unto themselves wives. And each chose for himself one, and they began to go in into them and to defile themselves with them." These were spirits doing this. Okay? "And they taught them charms and enchantments and the cutting of roots, and made them acquainted with plants. And they became pregnant, they bare great giants." This is ancient teaching. "Whose height was 3,000 ells, who consumed all the acquisitions of men. And when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind. And they began to sin against birds and beasts and reptiles and fish." That still practice today in a lot of witchcraft source. And read through books right now. The book Forbidden Knowledge talks about all this stuff. And it's just blowing my mind how this stuff is still happening today. This is nothing new. This is not new at all, guys. This stuff is still happening. "Then the earth laid acquisition against the lawless ones. And they taught men how to make swords and knives and shields and breastplates, and made known to them the metals of the earth, and the art of working, and bracelets and ornaments, and the use of this, and the beautifying of the eyelids, all kinds of costly stones." So, yeah. So all this stuff goes back to the very beginning when there were giants on the earth. And just think about the Egyptian culture. And I'm not saying that all Egyptian culture is bad. Obviously, there's a lot of good there, a lot of intelligence. We're talking about agriculture, connection to the Most High, fasting. They were very sophisticated people. So we're not here demonizing that. So I want you to hear that from this talk. But a part of that was the witchcraft that was being practiced. That is true. You think about even the art of fortune telling, those who get to that type of magic, fortune telling, that was practiced in ancient Egypt. Listen to this from the Forbidden Book of Knowledge concerning black magic, superstition, divination. This is why I give such a strong title, because big bro, I'm going to figure it out. I studied this stuff carefully for the last year or two, and it just blows my mind how this stuff is all connected back to Egyptian culture, back prior to that, to before the flood, when the giants on the earth. This is a long history of these fallen spirits connecting with men and women, teaching them how to access the spirit realm unlawfully. That is basically, it's going to be the type of talk that we don't type of time. That is basically what this is. That is basically what the witchcraft and sorcery is. It is essentially tapped into a spiritual power that's unlawful and is around the Most High as opposed to being under the Most High. That's the problem with all this stuff. It is an attempt to get power in the spirit realm around, under, sideways God. And that's rebellion. So let's tap in. You ready for this? So concerning fortune telling, That is the art that was practiced by the ancient Egyptians. There cannot be a doubt, as there are even now remaining several of the names of the Egyptian monarchs which have been transposed and fully point on the principal events of their lives. And so we see this in these books from the Forbidden Knowledge, the Book of Enoch. It's all teaching the same thing. It is basically saying what I'm saying today in this video. Chosen men and women, understand that there are witches and warlocks that are watching you very closely. And they are slipping these messages into us through music. They are slipping these messages in, I know, to tell the truth, through movies, entertainment. Some of this, and some of you guys who are into that adult entertainment. Sometimes that adult entertainment, that stuff is straight up, how can I say this on YouTube? It is, some of those scenes in adult entertainment are basically rituals. So what has happened is a lot of us, men and women, let's be real, have been exposed to this stuff through whether adult entertainment, through music, through movies. This is how they sneak the messages in. And we have lived our whole lives just unaware. And so unaware, then when someone like me gives a talk like this, I know some of you are going to just tune this out. The views may even be low. I'm going to be honest with you, big bro. I'm going to keep it stacked with you. I know this sounds bad. I am expecting the views to be low in this video. Because once you get too deep, people tune you out. I want to say everything is great and blessings and open doors and gold and silver. It's all ears. But to get to those open doors, let's talk. Come on. To get to the blessings, let's talk. To get to that advancement, to use your red anointing, everything I've been saying, to do all that I've been saying for the last 5 years, we have to be aware. We cannot allow fear to keep us from knowing what is happening under our nose every single day. You see, the prophet Daniel in ancient Babylon, he was aware of all of this. He was on staff at the king's palace with the magicians, with the astrologers, with those who were practicing different types of magic. Daniel was right there, and he was one of the leaders. So it is not wrong for us to be aware of the culture that is around us. We can't keep using God as an excuse to not protect ourselves. We can't keep using God as an excuse to not know what's going on and counter this dark energy that keeps coming our way. Yes, I'm going deeper. I've been studying carefully, trying to understand what is going on. And I know some of you probably haven't read these books. That's why you got me. I'm your big bro to give you a warning. It's part of my job here. It's to warn you, hey, chosen ones, this is what's happening. I'm just trying to get you to get tapped in. This is what they're doing. Hint, hint. And when we study this stuff and start learning what is happening, then we can begin to discern what is that dark energy we're feeling. Because you feel, I know you feel it. I know that about you. You may not know about this in particular, what they're actually doing in terms of the spells and the charms and magic and omens. Also, they're manifesting every day, especially during new moons, all that. Tap in, be aware. You can't be ignorant. They do rituals on new moons. I'm here to warn you. I'm going to get the cat out back. This is what they're doing. Okay? While we're sitting around not knowing, everything's just fine, they get down on us. Doing rituals through new moon. Because that's the time to manifest, by the way. So when they're doing rituals, you need to be praying. Hey, you ain't ready for me today. You're not ready for me? Because that's what I'll be doing. Since I know what they're doing, I'm praying at that time to protect myself, to cover myself, to pray for a release of angels to help me, to guide me. That's why I did that video maybe 6 months ago when I talked about there is a high-ranking angel following you wherever you go. I believe in that type of stuff. That's how I live my life. Believe that. I believe in angels. And they are helping us when these spirits and people who are being led by these spirits are doing this stuff all the way back to the ancient times. And it's happening right now in 2025. That's why I'm so passionate. That's why I'm on my phone today, talk to my audience, warning you, hey, listen up, guys, ladies, this is what they're doing. And it's up to you now. You've been warned. It's up to you to do the right thing with the information. And what's the right thing to do? I'm glad you asked me. Educate yourself. Because I gave you a briefing. We didn't even go in depth with this. I mean, this is hours of talks to break all this stuff down thoroughly. The purpose of this video today is a warning. Hey, this is what they're doing, gang. And we got to protect ourselves with prayers. We got to protect ourselves with meditation, with acquiring knowledge, and having that covering so we are protected from those evil eyes that are watching us. So this is a cry for a lot of things. It's a warning. It is a wake-up call. It is a challenge to study. It is a challenge to go deeper in your understanding of what's happening in the spirit realm and the energy you're feeling every day. You're feeling the energy. And it's up to you and I to protect ourselves from that energy by using discernment. We got to be tapped in. One of the best compliments I get is they say, "Big bro, you tapped in." You got to be tapped in to what is happening around us. And that's through visualization, keeping a journal, meditation. I'm giving you the game. Fasting, keeping yourself pure. Chastity increases your discernment. So when you keep yourself pure in your intimate life, the way that works, that sharpens your discernment. You see things clearly. You almost, to a certain level, for lack of a better word, I can't think what else, it gives you what some would call telepathic abilities. I know some of you don't like the word telepathic. It's essentially discernment, seeing things before it happens. That's what it means. I mean, telepathic is a new word, but from a biblical sense, you have this intuition. Or I'll give it this, put it this way: discerning the spirits. You begin to discern and see what spirits are around you and how to protect yourself. And I'm going to give you an example of that from the Testament of Joseph. Check this out. He discerned the spirit perfectly. Check this out. And it says, "And afterwards she sent me food mingled with enchantments." This is Joseph speaking of the Egyptian woman and what she was doing. She was trying to use witchcraft through food. They're still doing it, by the way. Okay? So when she out eating that spaghetti, you dig? I'm telling you, bro, they're still doing that stuff. It ain't nothing new. Nothing new under the sun. Okay? Next time one come out looking crazy, cock out, bring you spaghetti, say, "Oh, I'm good. Get that to the dogs." You hear me? I don't want that. And so, the eunuch brought it. It came to me. I looked up, and let's check this out. "I beheld a terrible man giving me with the dish a sword, and I perceived," he discerned, "that it was her scheme to beguile me. And when she had gone out to weep, nor did I taste any of her food." So what Joseph is saying here, this is in the Testament of Joseph. This is insight. He saw a man with a sword. It was discernment. He didn't see a man with a sword. He saw in the spirit realm what was going on here. This lady's trying to curse me. Are you getting this? He was able to discern this woman is trying to enchant me through this food. This was an ancient Egyptian practice. This was an ancient Egyptian woman named Memphis. Okay, Memphis, Tennessee. Pyramids down there. Come on, let's start catching up. This stuff ain't nothing. It's all connected. Okay, I'm trying to give it to you. And he saw what was going on, and he protected himself. Keyword: protection. When you know that this is happening, you have to protect yourself. So I'm gonna leave that there. This is a message concerning the witchcraft, sorcery, magic, at times ancient Egyptian practices, the Book of Enoch. All of this knowledge is saying the same thing. This is what was happening in behind the scenes with the chosen ones a long time ago, and it is still happening today with chosen ones. This is what has happened in the past against chosen men and women, and it is happening now. And just as they were able to discern it like Joseph was, we too have to discern it and make decisions. We can't just keep on saying, this is your favorite one. "No weapon formed against me shall prosper." Read the verse before that. The verse before that says, "I have created the blacksmith." The blacksmith was there designed to create weapons. Read the whole context. Stop saying something. I'm going to be honest. It bothers me when people say that, because you got to read the whole context. You're right. "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." That was really saying the weapons have been formed and they did work temporarily. Read the whole context. That's what happened. That's why he said no. That's why he said no weapon formed against me shall prosper, because the weapons were prospering. See, this is what happens when we read one verse. I'm not trying to get on nobody. I'm trying to teach you something. Read the whole context. The reason that the prophet says no weapon, now you say I'm passionate about this. The reason the prophet said that no weapon formed against me shall prosper, because the weapons were being formed against them and they were working, and he's saying now they won't work. That's what that means. So say it properly. So we have to educate ourselves, so when the weapons are being formed, we know how to protect ourselves. That's the purpose of this message. Protection, warning, alertness, aware, be aware. We can't keep walking around like, oh, everything is fine. No, it's not. We got to wake up and cover ourselves as chosen men and women. So as you can see, I'm passionate about this. I probably will clearly revisit this. This was just brief. This was actually a slide today. I really want to go in depth and break this down, but that's for another video. So I'm glad you guys have listened this far. This is the Big Bro King Jabez. Thanks for listening. God bless. Peace.